Welcome back to another episode of Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize the pop culture that we love. Is my mic working?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I may or may not have smacked it while we were waiting for the intro to play.
Cat's mic
Anywho,
working?
good. We're good. We're good. Okay, so I am your host, Sarah, joined by my now 3 co-hosts, because that's how big this show is.
Darn tootin'.
So, Brian and Amanda and Fred are all here, and DM Ray is here.
Heidi ho. It's good to see everybody. And I'm really looking forward to dissecting this film.
Okay, Ray, I forgot to tell you, drop your links in the chat so that we can post them in the public chat. And we're going to talk. Ray picked Legend to talk about today. And you got an active campaign or an almost active campaign?
We'll be launching in April. Right now, it is pre-launch. We've cleared 100 followers now. I'm looking to add to that pile. I'm very excited to get this thing going, man. This is the final issue of 3-issue miniseries. The whole thing takes place in one night. It's its own little thing. It's something I've been trying to put together for the last 3 years, and I've been doing an issue a year. This is not my day job, of course, and I am very, very, very excited to finally be able to talk about this story. It is absolute. Tell them Legend is a phenomenal movie. I will say the parts that are phenomenal, I definitely give it more thumbs up than thumbs down. But yeah, we'll talk more about the Madcaps later. I'm looking on the chat here. I don't use this bad boy too much.
Yeah, there's a little, there.
Private chat, found it. There it is. There it is. And we are golden. Ready to rock.
Okay, I have to remove the cat. There we go. I just ruined his life. Ruined his life so that I could post this in the
the tribble of disgust.
That describes one of my cats very well. Except for the reproduction.
Okay.
That's the one Star Trek episode I've ever seen.
Trouble with Tribbles.
Yes, I watched it in
Tribbles.
a class once.
Let's just hope the Borg never assimilates those things, because then they'd be invincible. Tribble tech or tribble biology with Borg tech? That's scary.
Assuming they can make cybernetic components fast enough.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't get to post. You can't post to the Facebook from Restream here. The Facebook streams don't. It's super annoying. Okay, now we're posted. All right. We want to look at this. Did you have pre-launch goodies on there, or is it just the?
Just the one. We could talk more later. I'll tell people. All right, you know what? Here, I'll send those on there. I apologize. Do the Canadian thing and apologize. Apparently, that's what we do a lot. We say sorry a lot, apparently.
I'm Minnesotan. It's the same there.
Yeah? Huh. Let's see
I find like Canadians very pleasant in my experience. You know, as the more I get to know them, they do have a politeness and a pleasantry that seems kind of genuine in a way that Americans don't all the time.
Except for Canadian geese, they're fuckers.
I've never met a Canadian geese.
You do not want to mess with
No, Canadian geese
Yes.
are they are evil, and
They
Really?
can smell fear.
nothing but hate and violence in their hearts.
Are they
Cobra-
violent, like attack? Like they'll attack you?
It depends on the
Yeah.
season. It basically
Fair.
we call them cobra chickens because they flap and they hiss.
Mhm.
Their
Yeah.
tongues have teeth on them. Their wings can actually break adult limbs, and if there's any of their spawn around, they will chase you away. And if you don't run, they will stab you with their tongues and break you up. Like they'll mess you right up. It's crazy.
Wow. I'd never heard that.
Yeah, cobra chickens you want to avoid at all costs,
Ooh.
especially in the spring of all times.
Yeah, when
Now-
you said season, I didn't know what you meant. Like, I thought you meant like mating season or something.
Yeah, mating season. So as
Yeah,
soon like
okay.
around the springtime that snow melts
Mhm.
and they just start reproducing, they hang around in like flocks and they don't fly. They just walk across the street and stuff, and it's actually illegal to kill them, which is very frustrating because they just like it's almost like they know, like, what are you gonna do? Shoot me? You're gonna
What
go
about
to jail.
self-defense?
I'm sure
Oh.
self-defense.
Can
would
you
be
argue
acceptable.
self-defense? Like, I mean, has
Well, it's
anybody?
like that South Park joke. He's coming right for us, right? Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you can. For some reason, I
Does
can't
anyone
see
make goose
anybody-
repellent?
Oh, like
Ooh.
pepper spray, but for geese.
Yeah.
Pepper spray work on geese?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
I mean,
Yeah, but if
there's
you can't shoot them,
I
that's
think
got to
the
be
only
like
thing that can
abuse.
defeat a Canadian goose is love.
No,
you know,
hold on. I'll be right back. I have a technical difficulty. I'm coming out and come right back in.
Man, I had no idea
He's
Canadian
probably
geese were
being
such
assaulted by
bastards.
geese right now.
Geese, yeah, the geese are probably at the door. Like, we heard you
Are you talking about us? Get 'em, boys.
Yeah, the only bird that I met that is meaner than a Canadian goose is a swan, and I think everybody's heard the story about the swan.
Well,
That was-
swans don't mess around, man. They're right. I mean, they're
Man, that was
indifferential.
15 years ago now. I got attacked by a swan in St. Neots.
I didn't hear this.
Yeah, I was 30-ish hours off a plane. I had not slept in 30 or so hours, and then my friend and I walked to a bakery to get and I got a sandwich, and I ate a little bit of the sandwich, and then I was immediately like, I can't eat this right now. And so I walked back through the park with them with the sandwich in my hand, not understanding that was basically inviting the swans to get me. And yeah, so then I start getting followed by swans, and of course they are terrifyingly huge.
Oh yes.
I was
Mm.
not really prepared because we don't have a lot of birds around our area that are that big and that willing to just follow humans. So I start getting really concerned really quick, and my friend, big strong man that he was, starts going I don't know, and like I was like, what do we do? And he's hiding behind me as if I could do it.
Has anybody seen
And-
the Seinfeld episode where Elaine gets chased by the dogs with the mutton in her pockets?
Yes.
That's what I'm imagining right now. Like Sarah, like
You know what? It probably was like that. Eventually, he's like, they want your sandwich, and so I'm like, here I am, like launched the sandwich at the birds and then ran as fast as I could the other direction.
Well, it's like
and-
the saying they say up here: "Mess with the pond, go get bludgeoned."
Yeah, that's not
They
right.
mess you up with smack you up with their wings.
Yeah, and swans can break bones too. Like
Yeah.
they're big and they're mean. And you can't. They're protected in England too. Like you can't hurt the swans. And I did ask that very same question that you asked, Fred. What about self-defense? I got attacked by a swan. What if it had gotten like physically violent with me? What would I have done?
I feel like birds have more rights than humans these days. Like
They also have more lefts too.
All right.
Damn.
Maybe we should move on to the movie.
I want to see where this goes.
Oh.
It really took
And
off.
then-
It's just the
Talk
straight
about-
shooter today.
About mean birds for the whole hour. That's also fine.
It's
Well,
already
I
on the
did
detour.
draw-
I
route.
mean, maybe
I
that's
drew a
where all those
picture.
feathers came from in the movie. Why were there feathers waiting
There were random feathers everywhere, weren't there?
everywhere?
I did not draw my sticker design is not bird themed, so
No.
I could pull up that Birdemic one that I slapped together a while ago. But No, we can talk about Legend. I'm pretty sure Dash came
Novel idea.
because Legend. So we should talk a little bit about that. What
in.
are our opening thoughts about Legend? Who wants to go first? Ray, do you want to go first since you're the
Well,
guest?
I threw the gauntlet down, so I guess I should define the terms, shouldn't I?
There you go.
So, with Legend, where I think its strengths are, I guess a better way to put it, where I give it its best accolades, its best kudos, is it's very unique. Like, what could you compare this to? Like, sure, it's fantasy, so you could say there's other fantasy movies out there, but it's very, very different. I find it very unique in regards to what the characters do, what the setting is. I like the idea of this large, powerful, scary antagonist scared of a little old unicorn. I find that very interesting. It's some things, I think one of its weakest things from a technical perspective is its sound. Even for an 80s film, I think it falls short there. I think I think that takes away from some really dynamic scenes. Some of the speech just sounds very muffled, like they're
talking through a mug
in some cases. But I would say that's the storyline. I think is in regards to a unique story. I think is one of its biggest strengths. Seeing Tom Cruise with his original teeth, I find that interesting. Technically, the sound I think falls short. In regards to everything else, I believe it's really up to each individual how they feel about all the little details, because it's very understandable if somebody said, well, I didn't like the way the goblins looked. Well, yeah, I get that, but they're also really gnarly and cool, again, unique in a way. But that's my take on it for first impressions, or I guess first statements moving forward.
Fred, you hadn't seen this movie before. What were your first thoughts about it?
I wanted Amanda to go first so I can be good cop, but
You could still be good cop.
the
best ever.
Bad cop, worst cop?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I'd never seen it before, and I recently was on an 80s fantasy kick. I'd watched Labyrinth, which I loved. I watched Neverending Story, which did not land for me. And unfortunately, this was closer to the Neverending Story for me, but it was still middle-ish for me. It wasn't quite that I think I had more fun. The thing that I liked the most about it is what is his name? Rob Bottin, I believe his name is, the guy that did the makeup. That legend that Tim Curry designed is incredible. In fact, that's why I wanted to see the movie for so long. I thought I'd seen that, I've seen figures of that, and I'd been impressed by the look. So I wanted to know.
Tad intimidating.
Yeah, I wanted to know what that character was and who that came from. But the movie itself, it felt oddly small. We're dealing with a story that's about the end of the world and evil overrunning the world, and it feels like the whole thing takes place in a 4-block radius. I never got that scope of who was in jeopardy besides the main characters. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the main characters, they were not quite my favorite. That princess, and I'm favorable to Mia Sara. Over the years, I liked Mia Sara, but in this movie, oh my God, what did I say when I was watching it? She's like a mashup of Rose Dawson and Scarlett O'Hara, and not in a good way. That scene where she throws that freaking ring and she's fiddle-dee-dee, right? Oh my God, why would you ever go get it after that? She's trouble. I hated that scene. And I just found her really hard to take. I do I'm more favorable on Tom Cruise than a lot of people are. I think there are a lot of movies that I've really liked him in over the years. But the thing that Tom Cruise doesn't translate well to, for me, I would say, is period pieces. And now I would say fantasy to that list. His mannerisms are too especially in this movie, too contemporaries 80s kid. And I just rewatched one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies recently, Color of Money. And this is only this is not that far off from that performance. He's not quite that over the top, but yeah, he just doesn't have a lot to do here, and he doesn't do it. Tim Curry does the best he can, and with that. But overall, like I wanted more of this movie. I wanted it to feel like closer to Lord of the Rings, even though I did notice a few shots that Peter Jackson seemed to lift from this movie, which he does. You watch anything from the 80s, and so like go back and watch Army of Darkness and see how much of Helm's Deep was ripped from that thing. But yeah, like this, it felt like I wanted it to feel more, like I wanted to feel larger, and to me, it just felt like a little too small.
I saw every single person that wasn't you nodding their head yes when you said it felt too small. So I think we all agree on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who didn't go yet? Brian. Since you got kicked out and back in, let's find out.
Well, my connection is stable. My first impression is this is what happens when 100 theater kids get together and everybody just goes, yes, you can do that. Sure, just do that in the next scene. Hey, you want to do this stupid, weird thing? Just add it yourself. And let's see what happens.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So yes, as Fred said, it's very unique, and it certainly is, but it's often incoherent.
Fair enough. Amanda.
I found that this movie suffered from being overworked. I did a little checking, and the director and the writer went back and forth for years on this, and then they trimmed the movie down afterwards. As a result, they ended up making a completely disjointed and inconsistent movie that just is full of sexism, some cultural colorism. It's basically Peter Pan and a fairy tale without a moral compass. And they just shoehorn too much modern stuff into it. And it just doesn't really land as a result.
Fair. Yeah. I think that it overworked is a great way to put it. What I like that's what I was thinking. I was like, there were too many people working on this, too many people working on all the parts of this, and it suffered for it. And also, I'm still not done. You guys, I told you I was not done being pissed off about the endings, because did y'all know there was 3 fucking endings to this movie? There's 3.
I didn't know that.
Endings.
Yeah.
We saw different ones, apparently.
Like 20-something years ago, the first time I ever saw this movie, I saw the ending where they beat darkness, and then they fix the unicorn. They magically reattach his horn and bring him back to life, and then winter goes away, and then they Tom Cruise and Mia Sara run off into the sunset together, and that didn't happen. It happens with so what happened at the end of the movie that we watched last night, because Jeffrey had not seen it yet, so we were very excited. I was like really excited. I was like, oh my god, it's so fucked up. You're gonna love it, right? and so we watch it, and I'm like, the last 5 minutes of the movie or so, I'm like, there's no way I was this wrong about what I remembered. Like I would forgive it 1 or 2 things, but it just cuts from darkness falling off into the void straight to Mia Sara laying in the grass with her completely no longer ripped up dress. Her dress perfectly intact again, like the fuck. And Tom Cruise is trying to convince her that it was just a dream. And then she tells him that they can't, she says something about her, he'll always be in her heart or something, but like the implication was that they weren't gonna be together, but she wanted to come back and the next day too, and then be his friend. And it was unclear, but like that was the director's cut ending.
Yeah. And
I want to know, why would they make the director's cut the worst ending? That is the worst ending of the 3.
Ridley Scott has a habit of making bad director's cuts.
That, you know what, that tracks.
Well, apparently the point and intention there was that Lily waking up realized that she was a princess and he was a forest boy, and that they weren't going to really be able to work it out. And so that was her kind of breaking gently to him and being like, I will totally see you tomorrow, but was not going to see him tomorrow.
See you, Green
Yeah,
Acres.
well, that's what I gathered. Like, he understood that, because otherwise why would he run off into the sunset? And then we don't see the unicorns either. We don't see anybody fix the unicorns. They just show up at the end, and we're like, is that a completely different unicorn, or is that the original unicorn who got his horn chopped off and frozen? We don't know, because you didn't fucking show us fixing the unicorn.
It's
We're
just
meant to
assumed everything's
assume,
better.
yeah.
I said
Again, back to they
Right.
went back and forth on stuff and how much to do exposition for. So in their mind, it's like, well, obviously the unicorn horn fell down, so they picked it up and they went and did the thing. But we don't have to show that because if the unicorn's just there in a hole, they'll know.
there was so much shit that they should not have done the exposition on and did, and that one was one that they should have done the exposition. Like seriously, I was like, that could be any unicorn. Like you didn't say that there weren't more than the two.
And no, they did. They said
Kind of.
there's
Well,
the
they
last
said
two.
about the last, yeah, but like,
And that she's the last one and we have to kill her. Yeah.
like what about if she was pregnant? We don't know. My point is that we didn't know, that we couldn't be certain that that was the same unicorn because he was fucking Snowbank
Don't
earlier.
give them ideas, Sarah. They'll make another cut. Like,
The deeper cut.
Possibly, I mean,
Deep
it could
cuts.
totally be worse than the one that we got. The director.
No, it was all a dream of the unicorn.
and
yeah,
by the
like-
way, I-
And then they, in the new cut, they don't even translate it out of horse. So it's just people.
I
and
did
stomping
find
the
the
ground.
script
There you go.
for the very
Better
first
movie, am I
version
right?
that he wrote, if you
Subtitles.
want to read it, Sarah. And that
Oh,
should give
God.
you an indicator of how much different it became.
Yeah. I mean, and all that being said, being pissed off about the ending aside, I don't hate this movie. I like this movie. It is very fantastical, and it's like there's some of the more nightmare-inducing scenes for a child in this movie, and like, cause like I'm very much like I remember David Bowie's Codpiece being the scary thing of my childhood. I saw this movie when I was a teenager, so it didn't scare me the way that it would have if I'd seen it when I was 7. But like this one is definitely lives in the nightmares of some 80s babies. It's dark and scary. And like the things that they were doing in that dungeon, holy shit, there's some war crimes going on down there.
Yes.
I think David
Oh,
Bowie
yeah.
is probably scarier than Darkness in some ways. I would see that. David Bowie,
David Bowie's scary.
he creeped me out when I was a kid. Yeah.
So sparkly
He was
though.
stealing
always have-
babies. He was
Yeah,
stealing
yeah.
babies. That
Stealing
is like really, really creepy.
Yeah, but they were
I mean-
noisy, crappy babies, not good babies.
Yeah, that I mean, to be fair, that baby was kind of an asshole, but
And by the way, I did just do a quick Google search to double check. Ridley Scott's other movie, Blade Runner, actually had 7 cuts when they re-released it in the mid 2000s. 7.
7.
Ooh,
Yes.
Christ.
So 3 is merciful in Ridley
I
Scott
am-
language.
intrigued there. I mean, I knew the director's cut where he made a lot of stuff silent to not have the exposition was his big cut that he wanted that people were very divisive on.
hmm
He's not good at all at deciding what should and shouldn't be exposition like that. He's bad at that. He needs to acknowledge his limitations.
Hmm.
He's bad at that. That could be some third unicorn, you guys. I'm just saying. Anyway,
I think that the biggest flaws of the movie, some of them already mentioned here. One, I think, Fred, you said 4-block radius. It didn't feel like it was all encompassing, but it mentions it's supposed to be all encompassing. I think one of a couple of things that would fix it is Lily, looking at my notes here. So Princess Lily, princess of what? We never see her kingdom. Even if she had like a platoon of guards that she tells them to go do something, you'd get a feeling of some type of authority or hierarchy, and it her job title, for lack of better wording. The other thing I found about her, everybody knows, like I have a lot of, when I was a kid, I had a couple different circles of friends, and one of them was a circle of homeschoolers, and there's always that one pretentious bookworm. Lily reminds me of that archetype of individual, but it makes sense as a princess. If there was something like it showed a little bit of the kingdom that she was a part of, maybe that getting hit by winter, and if she is to get captured, maybe she gets snatched up right in the middle of the castle. Suddenly there's a bit of cohesion that the world, there's more to the world than what you see. But as you pointed out, it was very, very in a box. And if they took out Fate of the World and maybe Fate of the Forest, I think it would have taken off of that edge. It wouldn't have felt so voidish, I guess, for lack of better wording. There's a lot going on there.
that servant lady that was living on the edge of the woods. They tried
Yes.
to throw her in there as proof that, because like they clearly were human, and she was clearly a subject of Lily's father, mother. We don't know.
Yeah,
who
right.
the royalty was, but yeah, like and then we did see them frozen. Which frozen baby, you guys? Did you see the frozen baby? That was
Frozen in time.
I forgot there was a frozen
Yeah,
baby.
frozen in time. That's right. Just
But
tap-
also
yeah,
getting
like-
covered in snow.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't
magical
actually-
freezing snow. Time freezing snow.
in somebody remind me here, because it's been 20 years since I've seen the American ending. Do they show those people being unthawed? Because they did not in the director's cut.
No.
No, it's
they-
a throwaway statement.
Yeah, they never go revisit like what happens to the rest of the world. It's just them walking out of the glade
Yes.
happily.
So
Yeah,
100%
too much,
Into the
too
light.
much hyper
They
focus.
would have just shown something about the kingdom. Yeah, that would have fixed a lot of that.
Just one scene in the beginning where there's like a ball or something, and she's like supposed to meet a prince, and then she sneaks out to be with Tom Cruise instead. You know,
That's
like
perfect.
Running through the market to get to Nell's place.
Yeah,
of course.
like how does she escape
extra
her
blank-
guards? Like that's a whole thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's a solid point.
She's the princess of a very, very small kingdom. A very small.
4 houses total.
And one of them was Nell, and they're frozen now, so whatever.
Her house just happens to be on stilts. And I'm like, it's a castle. I'm calling it a princess because it's funny.
Sure, princess. I think it would have, or give her some type of other life. It didn't have to necessarily be princess. I mean, that's very much a trope. I mean, from that year, that was Super Mario. Your princess is another castle. That could have been reworked. I mean, if it's a good story and it fits, it makes sense, then go for it. But if it doesn't fit, in this case, it doesn't quite fit. They should have tried something else.
Mhm.
The other thing I was gonna say, can I add one thing that struck, because you mentioned like of the times and of the 80s. As I was watching this, it reminded me of like a very 80s trope. The old like bad guy captures the princess and then she's gonna be my bride trope.
Mhm.
Like I forgot how prevalent that was. Like a couple days ago, I threw on some Super Friends just because, and there are like 3 out of 5 episodes where Darkseid trying to plot to make Wonder Woman his bride, and I'm like, you know, like I mean, you know, I don't know. It just seems like that was very much in the zeitgeist, and like every movie had that
Mhm.
theme.
Yeah, it ties back to the unrelenting sexism that happens in the movie and a lot of the movies of that era, where the woman who's the good woman is wanted by everybody.
And then
Um,
turned into the naughty version of herself.
Right, because all women are whores, and all he had to do was show her a necklace that she held up to her neck, and then suddenly she was transformed into being the bride. That was his way of wooing her and seducing her, was to give her jewels, a princess who has a shit ton of them. But it worked.
That's
So because
exactly
women are gold digging
Like-
whores.
Shiny
why
things.
does she have any want for sparkly things? She has them all around her if she's a princess, right?
She made a
Oh my
point of
God.
talking about the simple life has all
Poor
the magic
house
with her Nell, her woodworker's wife friend there, and like that was her whole thing. So how does it jive that she would be like, "Ooh, shiny necklace," and now evil?
And if I may, one more in terms of the sexism and stuff. Could not believe that after she like spoils the unicorns, and he's like, "Why did you do that?" She's like, "I just wanted to touch it." Like I don't know, like that read very cringy to me. Like it felt
Mhm.
very like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they
like famous
I-
last words.
they
and knows
absolutely
the rules, and you just like, well, okay, so that was
Very
very
Adam and Eve. Yeah, like
But no, they made a very special point of her being a very spoiled princess who was supposedly so innocent she could get the unicorn to stand still, but was like throwing laundry in the dirt, doesn't listen to Jack when he says don't approach the unicorns. She throws the ring
the ring.
in some sort of weird power move, gets easily
Ring.
seduced, and she is unable to resist the spell, unlike the very truly pure Jack. So maybe the Lord of Darkness should have fallen in love with Jack since he was truly the pure one.
There's
Well,
a movie.
that, oh. And then Lily could go on the crusade to save Jack, and then she would become a better person in the process.
Right?
We just another movie.
This movie could not figure out what innocent and purity meant, and just
Yeah.
kept referring to them as being innocent and pure and of the light, but none of their actions were consistent with that. Like, they were probably having premarital sex, which technically should leave it out depending on which moral compass they're using there.
Maybe they
He
did
killed
hand stuff.
people. She was, converting to evil and then didn't fully do it. Like, there's just so much about innocence and purity that they were trying to say, and it never actually got there. They just chucked the word out like they thought it had meaning.
Mm.
And I love the notion still of like Tom Cruise and Tim Curry like acting in love with each other, like in a movie.
That would be
Like,
amazing.
stop. Like, you had me at.
See me sometime.
We have to recast this movie so that Darkness and Jack fall in love. Who are we casting?
Tim Curry and Tom Cruise.
Well, you know what? I'm telling you, after watching that movie and then playing Legend of Zelda, I think that young Tom Cruise should have been Link. I think that was a lost opportunity there.
There was there is a I don't remember which one. Jeffrey pointed out that there is a specific game, a Legend of Zelda game that is almost play for play Legend.
Really?
And
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes. Jeffrey.
It was just screaming Peter Pan to me, so I'm interested in it also having the game component. too.
I saw Legend of Zelda, which I think came out after Legend. But there was no
Time.
water temple, so I guess
There was a unicorn in Legend of Zelda?
I don't know
which
if there's a
game?
unicorn in Legend of Zelda. That'd be like one of the few things there isn't, if that's the case. The tree is Legend, and it was even called the same thing. The big tree where Darkness lives.
Mhm.
There were so many things. Now I can only remember the one. But like, yeah, Jack is definitely Link. But Lily's not a direct correlation to Zelda, though, because Zelda's not as stupid and frivolous as she is, and that sucked because they could have done so much with that character and they just didn't. But yeah, I'll have to make a list for you guys because there was a bunch of stuff that he pointed out that was like, yeah, this is just like Legend of Zelda. It's interesting.
Copyright.
That's what I was like. I was like, so which one ripped off who? And he said that the Legend of Zelda game is years after Legend the movie. So
we want to do Legend the movie of Zelda.
A lot of times it's also subconscious influence. Like, I don't think they were actually
Right.
thinking of Peter Pan, but they solidly made Peter Pan with Jack in his
They rated
green
his-
outfit and having Una, the sprite who's in love with him, who storms off, and just the whole thing.
That's where I first thought Legend of Zelda. When I saw
Oh,
float in
Man,
and be like, "Hey, listen." Man.
I had one more criticism, and I'm just curious if anybody else felt this way. But for me, the movie lacked like a supporting character that I latched onto. Like his little troop of people. Like, I found the little elf character kind of annoying. The other guys were kind of nondescript. They kind of looked exactly like each other. It would have benefited if there was like one fun,
more
personality.
charismatic version of Honeythorn. That was the elf.
yeah,
Those
Yeah.
piercing eyes.
was supposed
Yeah.
to be the lovable sidekick, but
The way he looked at you was it's almost like he was looking through you. It was almost uncomfortable.
Yeah, and
I mean, not his fault. You can't change who
Well,
he
he
is.
was,
but just
and
in
he
this
was meant to
past
be
thing.
a fairy that was uncomfortable and
right.
wasn't totally liking humans or what happened.
It
So
was supposed to be like the old school Fae lore,
Mhm.
where you don't trust any of those things because they're probably going to rip you apart and make a decoration with your bones or something like that.
yeah,
did not know that Faye and Canadian geese were so deadly until that. Like,
It's got wings.
that's a story.
man.
Faye versus geese.
Yeah. Well, a couple things.
Cold-blooded
The
feathers.
story is definitely dated in certain respects. We've talked about a couple of tropes for sure. Tim Curry, I thought he did a good job, as mentioned, with what he had to work with.
underused.
I
Like,
think
Underused.
one thing that I think that comes nice from it, it portrays the bad guy as the sexist, even though it has that trope in there. It's kind of pushed on to him for the most part, And again, it's a dated thing, so it's not like I can justify it from a modern perspective. That's for darn sure. I like how the princess tricked him in the case of, well, let me kill the unicorn then, as if she was tricking him the whole time. And she was obviously at the start seduced by power or whatever he had to offer. And the dress jumps onto her through some type of magic means, obviously showing it physically through the, as you pointed out, the necklace. I liked how she freed the unicorn. I really liked that. And Jack having enough faith in that girl to pull through at the end, which she did. I did like that part. I didn't like the sword fight between Jack and this Lord of Darkness. I figured he would have just pummeled him, but he seemed to hold his own a little too much for a petty little human. But
especially one that hadn't touched a sword before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never said he knew nothing of weapons at the beginning, and then clearly Darkness has some experience, and he
setting swords on fire so he can't touch them. That was cool.
Yeah. And he's physically much larger and stronger. Like, he didn't even need a sword.
One good kick.
Yeah.
And a unicorn horn to the stomach, which he was so scared of. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of dated tropes in there for sure.
I did like that they didn't make the Lord of Darkness have red eyes. That was a nice change. Almost always it's the evil person has red glowing eyes. The evil machine has red glowing eyes. So it's like, okay, at least they avoided that. I like it. Lily did try to fix her mistake, which was good and good character development on her. The fact that she was unable to grab any sort of cloak around her and could then magically survive the snow was a little questionable, but she was trying. And then strong agree with Ray that like Jack is trusting Lily is perhaps incorrectly, but because of what we see her doing. But from Jack's perspective, of course, he's going to trust her to be doing the right thing, and it pays off as an ending.
Mm-hmm. Is there other stuff that we like? We talked a lot about what we don't like about the movie, and sometimes I feel like that we get lost in the things that we don't like, and we don't talk enough about the things that we do like. So are there other things that we like about this movie? I, for one, quite enjoyed the set design.
Yeah.
It was too small. I 100% agree with that. They should have had at least one more scene. But like what we had was really cool. Although I could have done with less like shit flying through the air all the time. Like there was always
feathers and bubbles.
Wait,
made no sense.
It was a Zyrtec commercial,
There's
right?
no reason for those to be flying around.
Yeah, the bubbles I needed explanation on, and we never got it. Like the petals, because it was spring. The tree semen was spring. Like whatever that fuzz was, it looked like.
We can let that go.
But like, yeah, I can forgive that, and I can forgive snow, of course. But where did the bubbles come from? Was that supposed to signify something? And that was another thing that Ridley Scott thought he can show, don't tell. And no,
didn't show it quite enough to tell.
No,
Yeah.
it's similar to how they used a ton of glitter, but never really explained what was going on there. Because like she'd have glitter on her face, and then the same scene it was in a different part of her face, and then it would be in the next scene, and there's glitter's completely gone, and the next scene the glitter is back. And then the glitter, but was also like somewhat showing up in the darkness side, and the dart that hit the unicorn was completely covered in glitter. So it's not a purity thing. It's not a magical thing. It's just glitter everywhere.
So much glitter.
So much
I feel like
glitter.
this is a good time to point out how much I like the makeup effects. I did though. I like the goblin design. Everybody was very like. I think it's Rob Bottin. Is the name of the guy. He did a lot of stuff in the 80s. And this, the darkness design, all that stuff is really nicely done.
I think a good word to describe define what you're describing there, that makeup, it was just gnarly. Like you can't compare it to anything. Although it made no sense. Well, I guess it did make sense to have the swamp hag at that moment. It was kind of out of place for the story's momentum.
Oh, yeah.
You look at that thing, you already pointed out, Sarah, like, man, that's nightmare fuel. Like they did a really good job on visuals with that. Just that story need a bit more reworking. That's all, you know.
Or
We didn't
less.
really need the
Or less.
hag in the story. Like, it didn't
Right.
really move things forward, and it was just another woman that was evil.
Yeah.
Everyone was either evil or kind of problematic if they were a woman.
Yeah, she didn't need to be there specifically, but I think she was just there to demonstrate Jack has now he really is the chosen one because he's got this natural ability with the sword, even though he's never touched one in his life. And they could have done that a different way without killing a woman, but it was the thing back then, I guess. I don't know.
How else do you know you're ready to face the Lord of Darkness unless you kill a woman? Okay, that's battle preparedness.
Oh, I mean the scene
Especially
with
if
the
she's
ogre in the kitchen where he was doing jump
Fight a
and kicks that was
goose.
clearly not him.
Fight a goose.
If you can
Would've
kill a
got the
goose,
job.
you are the chosen innocent one.
Kill
buy
the
that.
goose.
Oh no.
There's
Yeah,
gonna be
like-
a fourth cut.
And also what how did he kill the ogre in the kitchen? I'm unclear on that.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
It was a bunch of
Ogre?
steam.
Oh, you mean the part where Blix is playing with the horn?
No, they're in the kitchen, and then he like throws
like
some of
the
the
shiny objects, and then
soup
they wake
into
up.
the kitchen, and a ton of steam appears,
Yeah.
and he's
Oh,
fighting
Somehow it
people.
kills both
yes.
the bad guys and none of the good guys.
Yeah, the incredibly unrealistic scene in regards as to how physics works for soup and fire, and jumping and fighting against somebody who has more experience
I
than
don't
you.
know. I've
yeah.
had soup that almost killed me before.
Yeah, but has it actually produced that much smoke that it and
That was a
fog that it
lot, yeah.
completely?
And also, did the smoke kill them? What? How did they die? Like they weren't in the soup. It wasn't burning them, but like, and all the other good guys were all there too, and they didn't get affected by it. Like, is it pure soup?
It must be
The
steam.
soup was
magic.
innocent.
It's magic fantasy soup.
Yeah, that was unclear to
Super
me.
soup.
Not
Super
that
soup,
you
yeah.
know, like that. There's a lot of spots in this movie that if they had just tweaked it a little bit, it would have made a
Yep.
whole lot more sense.
Yeah,
And
just,
this is how this show has just absolutely ruined my ability to watch movies now, because and now I'm like, oh man, if they would have just done this one little thing differently, it would have perfected this scene. And now I'm like, I can't. And I've ruined my own ability to enjoy movies.
they need to have internal
welcome.
consistency for their own world. Physics should still work the way physics ought to work if they've established that that's true. And when
Well,
they
I'm sure
violate
they
the
didn't
internal
implement it,
mechanics
but
of their own world, we're like, that was
No.
noticeable.
It's like when they used the light speed in what was it, The Last Jedi, to
Mm.
destroy the bigger ship. It's like, well, why did they do that to the Death Star in episode 4?
Hundreds of times
Exactly.
before this.
I never thought of that.
Like nobody
Yeah,
considered
they
it.
broke
That-
their own
Like
mechanics.
in
and that-
Guardians of
it's
the
like you're saying
Galaxy
there.
when Groot
Amanda's right.
can throw his arms through the bad guys and then just like slap them against the walls until they die. It's like, why didn't you do that before? You
The
dickhead.
Infinity War could have been over.
Powerful area attack that you can do at will, and
He would have run out of spell slots at that point. He had to save it.
just give him a long rest.
Yeah.
Is that a mana? Yeah, that's fair. Other
Yeah.
Although I
things
think
that
it's
we
monk
like
class.
about this movie?
What's that, Sarah?
Are there other things that we like about this movie?
I
Tom Cruise pantslessness. We didn't talk about that at all.
Tim Curry
No.
shirtlessness.
Hey, look, he was
Oh,
in
nobody
two
has a
different
problem with that.
dresses, the green dress and the chainmail dress, and he clearly had some very booty shorts on. So he was doing some sort of fan service.
Did he have a lot of
making
fans
fun
then?
of-
Yeah.
He was a mild star at that point. He was not.
What year was this? 80.
86.
I think this was pre Top Gun.
Yeah,
So-
this was early on in the
Risky
career.
Business?
Pre-volleyball scene.
But it was like he had some supporting roles that people had noticed him being a beautiful man in, but he had
and
not done. He had not been like super like star yet.
Yeah, and this is sort of
Oh,
fairy tale-ish, so they're hoping to capture a certain amount of the female fan base, and so no doubt they.
They brought out the looks.
So he
Yes.
was in Outside. Okay. Yeah, I was right. He was in Risky Business before he was in Legend.
You beat me
Oh,
to it.
okay,
I was
then yeah.
thinking of-
Oh,
Yeah.
how about that?
Legend was before Top Gun, which is what really launched him into stardom. But yeah, he was Risky Business came before Legend, so he was a star, but not a huge star yet. And then then '86 Top Gun happens, and
He was ascending.
yes, and that was before he fixed his teeth. That's how you know he wasn't like a real star yet.
Good point. Good point.
I
Yeah,
never
like-
noticed his early teeth.
Yeah, in Legend, he has his regular teeth. You can see the natural imperfections that most people have. Not
Which,
not
also
the
still
like
perfectly good teeth. What the
not
hell?
the ventriloquist dummy chiclet set that goes straight across that most people in Hollywood do.
Yeah. I like that him fixing his teeth pisses me off because he had perfectly good teeth before, and then he's like, no, they're not perfect. They must make them better. And man, I bet if he had that to do over again, he wouldn't.
Oh no,
that-
he
that-
absolutely would.
That's
Like
a common
having
thing in
even-
Hollywood.
Having
Yeah.
even approximately chiclety teeth that are very white is a very standard Hollywood thing that will get you more roles.
But it
That's
depends on
fair.
the decade too. There's a lot of trends like right now removing fat from the face or putting those implants in like in the cheekbones, the outside of the jaw and the chin, so you're like all the time.
Removing
You notice
removing
that?
fat from the face.
Look
Is
up
that what they did
what's her
with
name
the
that
Face
played Wednesday?
sculpting.
Who
yeah,
did that?
buckle fat? The buckle
Who
fat
played
thing?
Wednesday? Olivia.
Yeah, she got the
Oh,
buckle
Christina
fat.
Ricci.
No,
No, it's
Jenna,
a new Wednesday.
Oh,
Look-
thank
look
God!
up-
I was gonna say I saw Christina Ricci once at a Comic-Con. She is like one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in person ever. I must say, she is like a porcelain doll. Thank God she didn't f that up.
There's also these weird dental implants. Like right here, they'll make these two sections jut out a lot. Tom Holland does it. I forget the new actress who plays Supergirl. She has it too. It looks like they're hiding walnuts under their bottom
Ooh.
lip, kind of thing. It's a very strange. Like
I just thought that was the way Tom Holland's face was.
if you see
Yeah,
enough
right?
actors, you'll see a
Anthony
pattern.
Starr too.
Yeah.
I think he's got
Yeah.
a weird. I didn't know there was an
But
implant.
yeah, this section right here, it looks like they're hiding food.
I thought it was
or
a British person thing.
something.
Okay.
Now I want cheek sacks that I can carry food in.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
So
Call me Squirrel
Jenna
Man.
Ortega got them removed, and Tom
like,
Holland got them put
very,
in.
very strange. She's got like a sunken forehead and her eye. I forget
Jenna
what.
Ortega. Oh,
Look up,
That's
type in
fat
her name
surgery.
and like face fat removal or something like that. You'll be haunted. It like why?
I know a
It
lot
like
of
goes
them
back
that
to like Tom Cruise with the teeth. It's the same thing. This is what we do now in Hollywood, and this is the new thing.
this is
Very
because
strange.
too much money and fame breaks your brain, and I feel like that might be irretrievably broken. Like, I mean, it's not good for you. Having too much money is clearly not good for you. Having
it's
not
that
enough money
competitive
also not
edge.
good for you.
If you want to be successful in that area, and while everybody else is
Yeah.
doing it, well, gee, I better buy into this. That's what
Mhm.
happens.
I just keep thinking about how fucked up my teeth are and how I would have kicked a puppy to have Tom Cruise's pre-surgery teeth. I keep thinking about like I'm just
you're a cat
people
person.
don't know what they got.
she didn't mean that.
Keep telling yourself
Fred,
that.
don't have Sarah over.
Well, it's not. I'm not gonna kick a dog if it's not gonna get me anything.
I'll make
Come
this
on.
sacrifice.
Don't
They'll
have
give me
I
teeth.
just go
She starts
kicking. I
yelling.
just don't go around kicking dogs for no reason, you guys.
Sarah
Come
starts
on.
yelling, innocence. Anything for teeth, innocence.
Oh shit. Yes, we have a quiz. Who
Mhm.
wrote the quiz this week? I
I
forget.
did.
Oh shit, it was Amanda. So,
Don't worry, I took it
do
easy.
we like while she's pulling that up, do we want to talk about like any closing thoughts, any final parting words about Legend?
Its ambition was its compliment, but also the thing that hurt it.
Well said.
Where's Dash at? I
2050.
want to hear him chime in on what we got wrong.
Yeah, Dash. He said he loved the movie and he was pretty sure that Ed would hate it. And yeah, like I was surprised that Ed hadn't seen it yet. So I thought, oh man, we should do like a new one where we talk about Legend again, just so that we can hear what Ed has to say, and then we can hear what Ed has to say about the the album, the music too, because there is 2 of them.
That last song in the movie was whew. I don't know. Again, which version did I see? I saw the U.S. version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
Everybody but me saw the U.S. version, apparently.
that's like that's a very 80s thing, right? Like all the fantasy movies and stuff would have their own like made up like song specifically commissioned for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not my favorite of them. Just
So
wasn't my
everyone
style.
All right.
who's watching, go to play.blooket.com. It'll ask you for a number. Enter the 7-digit number 1090910 and join us. Sarah's going to give away a sticker to the winner. Sarah, do you want to show us the sticker,
Sure, let's look at the
or do you want to
sticker.
show it after the quiz?
What is that gonna like? Is that gonna deter people from watching or from playing?
Oh,
It's a good sticker. I like the
good
sticker.
sticker.
I think describing it would detract people.
It's a traumatizing sticker.
There you have it. It's a very sad unicorn.
Sad. That's what we're going with.
Not sad. It's not happy.
So the sticker happened from me not being able to draw darkness. I tried. I have multiple attempts,
Too many abs.
and it just wasn't working out. Yeah, like I was
Was
like,
it the horns?
it was a lot of things, really. It was the fact that he was like a centaur thing, not a centaur. What the fuck
Minotaur?
are those called? Not a minotaur, kind of. Yeah,
No, it's got
And-
the goat
his-
legs.
face is
So Satyr.
weird, and his torso is like it was just nothing was looking right.
Mm-hmm.
And also, and I didn't want to do that to Tim Curry. He deserves better than that. So instead, I decided to mutilate the unicorn.
I
mutilate it.
think you'll find that Blix did that.
Blix. Is your heart not
I just did the courtroom artist rendering of what Blix did to that unicorn. Did you know Blix is a female too? Blix
Yes.
is a-
Yes. Yeah, she's
I didn't.
Oh, the
It's
women
evil
in here are
female.
just-
Meg is the evil female. The mom of the Lord of Darkness is the evil female. We've got Nell, who's ineffectual, and then like Lily, and then Una, who's who tries to seduce Jack, showing her evil, terrible side. So yes,
what a
yes,
brat.
right.
Like,
Just
both
the
of
whole thing was
yeah,
like
both of the good women were brats.
the writer was going through a divorce, and it shows.
Yeah, it does.
That'd do it.
Are we ready to start?
Yes.
Anybody else gonna jump in?
You
I
should
see
be able to
people
join
watching.
in even if we hit start. All right,
Yes.
I'm going to hit the start. It's going to begin. If you are going to try to play along, do not listen to us after that. Just look at the screen and go. We're on a little bit of delay, and it then creates problems. So let us begin. Why do I feel like I
Oh
did the wrong
no!
thing? What is
I
this?
think this is not the
We're
classic.
not doing classic.
Skip.
Not classic.
Stop. What has happened? No. Go back. All right.
Let's
Try that again.
Leave? You want me to leave?
It told me to leave. I'm coming back
It
in.
kicked you out. It
Yeah,
kicked
it would
me
have
out.
kicked you out. Yeah. I did
90,
not click classic
91,
somehow.
0.
Sorry about that. Apparently it was on Gold Quest, whatever Gold Quest is.
One more time on the number, please.
Yep, I'm redoing it
10,
right now.
90, 91, 0.
No, it'll be a new
It'll
one.
probably give us a
New
new
one.
It'll probably
number.
be a different one, yeah.
Oh, eat my words here. I must exit.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Are you
So if
for
you're
real now?
listening,
there we go.
Not too late to join. Go to
Never
play.blooket.com.
too late to join.
Win a sticker. Although Sarah keeps saying that if somebody beats me, that they'll get 2 stickers.
All right, so the
You
new
should get
number is
all of the stickers.
616204.
So many stickers.
616204.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I'm a hippo this time.
All right, everyone's back.
Sweet.
Now we'll start.
Oh, there's more than one right answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda likes to fuck with you that way.
Let's do this.
God, Brian's gonna win. I can already tell.
I've had my caffeine today.
I have not.
Oh,
Nice. That's
huzzah.
well done,
Oh,
Fred. That was
Fred.
fast and correct.
Sarah's gonna win. I can tell.
Sarah's committed to the game.
There she goes again with her more than one right answer.
Technically, it's Forest Child because that's specifically how they refer
is he
to
not
him.
human?
But Green
Yeah.
Man and Forest
they
Child
call him
can
mortal,
be
but
synonyms.
They do not
The only
call
reason
him
I
human.
picked Forest Child is because you said Forest Child, Amanda, earlier. So I'm like, that's got to be the right one.
Mm-hmm. Ultimate goal.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Playing the long game.
Good luck, everyone. I just wanted everyone to appreciate how
That was absolute guess.
unbelievably long that he had to sit there.
I wonder how many days he had to wear the makeup in production.
Oh god.
A lot. At one point, he got claustrophobic while they were. He had like sit in spirit gum dissolver, and he got impatient and ripped it and ripped some of his skin and had to heal.
Yeah, I heard that Jim Carrey had a similar issue when he was the Grinch, and they like brought in a torture expert to help him.
From the CIA.
It was
Wow.
freaking like really weird.
Christian Bale had the same problem with the bat suit originally.
Really?
That makes
Yeah.
sense. You can't even hear or turn your head in those things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
We don't know what would kill him because we don't know what he is. He
Any of
probably had
those
skills.
Absolutely
call-
should have killed him. They should have been dead so many times throughout this movie.
They should have. They called him mortal. Somebody called him mortal, so
Some sort of mortal.
Fish are mortal and they can live under the ice.
88 is when Willow came out.
I've never seen Willow. That's another on my 80s fantasies.
Like, how
that I need
young
to-
are you?
What?
How young are you?
No,
being a
I was born
baby.
in 82. I just
well,
never
yeah,
saw that.
the fuck is chronomancy?
Time magic.
Ah.
The most powerful of the magics.
Oh. Oh, Fred got wrong the fastest.
I know.
Well done, Fred.
Woo!
If I go down, I'm going to go down in a blaze of glory.
I almost set the Frozen in Time one to be a correct answer too, but they did clearly state it was dead. And
Good job, Sarah.
they were-
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Sarah. Woohoo!
Golf claps.
So we'll have to send you a sticker, clearly.
Yes.
I'll send you one of these. I'm not on screen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, where the fuck did Brian go? Ray, this is something that I will message you about like sometime in June, but I want to get as many people because we can have up to 10 people on screen at once, and I'm really kind of screwing with that, with the whole like adding all these co-hosts. Like there is that's gonna make it harder for me to have more people on the show, but I want to invite back other guests to play the mega quiz at the end of June. We do 2 of them every year, and you're invited. And
Awesome.
the prize is probably, I think it's going to just be one of every sticker that I've made, since that feels like
That's
a
a
good
cool
price,
idea.
right?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a collection, an omnibus, if you will.
There you go. And then, yeah, like I kind of want to be able to collect them all together. Like at the end of the year, maybe we could have one person. Holy loud! I think the cat might be behind you.
She's not even in the same room.
I mean,
that
she's in the
loud.
room with me, but
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Oh,
I muted myself.
Cats. Yeah, so like we could have one. We could do maybe at the end of the year we could do 2 quizzes and have like one big winner of all this, like the whole thing of stickers. I don't know.
Like a round
It'd just
robin.
be fun. And I don't know if I'm getting better at any of this stuff as we go. Like if I can keep up with the sticker making, then maybe we could see improvements on the art. Clearly the ones that I did with Illustrator with vectors as opposed to drawing myself are much better because that's what I've been doing for longer. But
Mhm.
I have also been drawing horses for a long time. So this
That one
one
came out good.
thank you.
Yeah, good.
Like this one was a little easier to do because I have been drawing horses for a while. So. And yeah, we'll see what happens. What do we got next week?
I believe it's
Next-
Sherry 2000, if I saw correctly today.
Ooh, and I think I write that quiz.
Yes.
Oh.
That's gonna
Indeed.
be
Oh,
great.
that's Brian's quiz? Ooh. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah,
I
it
keep
is.
hearing about how amazing and ridiculous this movie is. So I'm
really,
pretty-
because I've told you it's to nothing but terrible. So
Oh, I believe 100% believe it's terrible. I've
okay, good.
heard
As long
a
as we
lot
have
of
set
people.
the B movie expectation correctly.
Yeah.
I may
I'm
watch
in
that
no
one
way.
tonight. I'm so excited.
This I am like just I mean it's Melanie Griffith, right? And like she's in a horrible wig. Like
Yes.
it's gonna be great.
I mean, it's no worse than the some of the other wigs that sci-fi characters have had to wear.
True. Yes. So before we go, let's look real quick at the Madcaps here because
Oh, right
we
on.
want to
Thank
hear a
you.
little bit more about that before
Yes, please.
we go. If
I thought you were going to share. Oh, there we go. I thought you were going to share screen.
there we go. So Restream is having a little bit of a
All good. All good. All
adolescent
good.
time. Yeah, it's okay.
So I don't have anything to show on this pre-launch page. I do have a screen I can share, but before you get rid of the site, anybody listening right now, if you like what I'm about to pitch to you, if you click on Notify Me on Launch, as you can see there in the bottom right quadrant, you will, hi John, good to see you. I'm back to my side profile. He always makes fun of me because I'm never like this. I'm always like this. But anyways, even if you click on Notify Me on Launch, you'll be helping me behind the scenes in regards to the algorithm and everything else in regards to people getting some notice on this project. I've got some covers to show off. Maybe I'll share my screen. I think that would be the easiest way to do it.
There we go.
Sure.
Share screen, share window.
Need to stop sharing this one first. Are you guys seeing it like go super laggy, like, or is it just me?
I think it's just you.
Oh,
I think so.
All right. Speaking of fantasy, so this
Hey.
is the main protagonist cover for issue number 3. During this Kickstarter coming up in April, you will be able to get issue 1 and 2. These are the 4 main characters. I'll talk about each one because when I show you their variant covers. But right now, this was done by Victor Medina. He's my interior artist. This image was done as his warm-up for issue 2. I liked it so much I wanted it as the main cover for issue 3. A couple of color corrections later, this is the end result. I think the guy did a fantabulous job. I think he did very well, and I'm very happy with how that looks. Now, we also have a main antagonist cover. This is done by Harv Salteras. Now, I do have to make a disclaimer, as Amanda has already noted with fantasy. Sometimes the girl's the bad guy. There isn't just bad guy girls in this.
Good.
I will disclaim as we go on later on, but with this main character, this is an elven necromancer, a walking contradiction. And the first 2 issues, you have no slight idea who this person is, what this person looks like. But these characters are going to hit the ground running, and we don't know if they're biting off more than they could chew, but they got a lot to chew going into this final issue. Then, of course, we have variant covers. Here's the first one. A lot of people like this blue-skinned elf, Chasco Blundale. The reason his skin is blue is his specific group of elves live in a mountain range that is riddled with silver and silver deposits. You can look this up in real life. This happens with humans. Their skin can turn blue if they're exposed and they ingest enough silver. It'll actually tattoo their very skin cells that color. Because this is fantasy, of course, Chasco and his lovely byproduct here, he's also very resistant to magic. I could go on and on about this character. I'll say a couple of cool caveats about him. His people are very xenophobic. They hate outsiders. And outsiders will kill his type, his kind on sight. So he's kind of very secretive. Through a couple of different means, he was approached by an individual known as Annette, who has given him some magical abilities. He's very grateful to have had her support him on his journey. One of the coolest things he can do is disguise himself. So he hides in a town, disguised as just an average-looking Joe, for lack of better wording, and he's actually a representative of a noble. If his identity was ever compromised, he'd be killed on sight. So in the other two issues, he's very careful. The first issue, there's the beginning of an undead outbreak, and he can't even help his friends assist these guards in staving this outbreak. And he wants to help, and he can't. This last issue, all bets are off. He actually has to step up. This image is attempted to depict that. Everything white on that image will be glow in the dark. So that's a glow in the dark issue.
Cool.
I think that thing's really going to pop.
Yeah.
For the next one, I got a double. There we go. Here we have a little half gnome, half dwarf named Dunan Eni. He has a very unique ability. His gnomish mother can influence nature around her. Dunan Eni somehow has a similar ability, but through metal and crystalline structures. You can't see it too well, but peeking over his shoulder there is a telescope. He could sync it to his goggles, and he could blast raw arcana out of it. So he can also heat up his smithing hammer there. He's less than 4 feet tall. It's really comical to see him walk up to a tree and just reduce it to splinters. It's he's a really fun little character I like writing with. Everything you see in these covers actually has some type of foreshadowing of what happens in the issue. So there's let's just say he heats things up a little bit. It's a good time. I'm, again, torture not being able to talk about this story, but I can give little hints, as you can see here. This cover is going to be lava foil, and I think it's really going to pop with that imagery. I think it's going to look really, really good. We also,
know what that is, but it sounds amazing.
lava foil. Do you remember the old holograms for if you ever collected cards back in the day? Some of them would be holographic.
Yes.
Well, this one's going to have that effect on it, except lava foil is just an orange, yellowy, red hologram over top of this image. So it's really going to pop.
Yeah.
The last two covers that I'm able to show are only partly done. We have Jay Sloan working on my cover of Sarlacc, of this wild dwarf of the wood. He's putting axe to skull, and he has a protective ward around him that's keeping the undead repelled around him. You can actually see the one on the left over his shoulder trying to bite through this thing. Sarlacc is very devout to something only known as the divine, and he felt that he was called to move into a human city and do right by others and help those less fortunate. Sarlacc's origins, his specific type of dwarf, they don't live in the mountains. They decided to farm in a swampland and essentially terraform this swampland. So in their culture, over doing this for generations and making the swamp less scarce as they make the lands more fertile, it is in their culture to track and pacify things that go bump in the night. So between that and his devotion to this deity, he has some, we'll call them blessings or gifts. I already mentioned the ward is one of them, but he's essentially a wild dwarf of the wood that can kill creatures in quite the fashion. He would be like a violent version of the Croc Hunter, if you will. But instead of an Aussie accent, probably more like a Scottish one, as you would read. But this one is going to be colored by Dan Kemp. He's colored over 100 issues of Spawn from 50 to 150. I'm very excited to see what that one looks like when it's done. And then lastly, this is only the pencils. This is done by Mike Mez Phillips. This is the last fella, Madrakas Darthual. He is a descendant of a large kaiju electric eel that lives out in the ocean. Because of that, he's a hardy specimen. He clears 6.5 feet in height. He's over 350 pounds in body weight. One interesting thing he's inherited from his ancestors, he's able to store lightning in his gizzard and vomit it out. He can only store limited supplies, but it's really cool when he can do it. One of the most intimidating things about him is in his physical appearance. He's not a skilled fighter. What he wears is ceremonial. It's actually his brain. He dabbles in the arcane. And one thing I hate, we were talking tropes before. Big, strong guys, usually the trope is they're dumb and good for nothing but being a meat shield or delivering one big awesome blow at some point. This guy is very scary. In issue 2, at one point, while they're trying to escape and rescue some citizens, he's able to pull some earth out of the ground and catapult a bandit that's chasing them on horse. It's a really cool scene I like describing. But I'm really excited to see this thing inked and then finally colored. I've got 4 other covers. There's a reason for that, but I can't explain yet. When this is all said and done, this thing, before these 3 issues started, it should feel like the world exists. We were all pointing out how in Legend, it's very closed box and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of world. Well, mine isn't about the world. Mine is a very intimate scenario. These are about 4 friends that haven't seen each other in a very long time. They're in the wrong place at the wrong time. As I mentioned, in the first issue, they helped stave off an undead outbreak. And then it's led to believe that the local drug called Weave may be the origins of this outbreak. One lead goes to another, and they find themselves in a scenario that they weren't ready for. All in all, magic, melee, monsters, mayhem. This isn't magic or action all the time, but this is the last issue that leads up to it. And a lot of scary things are going to happen, and it's going to be a good time. Looking forward to finally getting this done. And that's all I have to say.
You did a great job explaining it, man. It sounds really interesting, and I look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
I went to follow you, but I was already following. So.
Oh, right on, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's what I had problem with too. I was like, I'm so excited to follow, and shit, I'm already doing it.
I have to make 5 more Kickstarter accounts to follow you again.
I was just looking in my digital comics collection here and seeing if I already, because I know I have some of them, but I don't know how many. Oh, I got some in here somewhere. I know I backed your last campaign.
Right on. Thank you very much.
I'll back this one too. And if I can't find, if I can't find,
appreciate it.
Which ones I have, so that I can make sure that I can get the whole set, I'll just get them all again in the digital set.
Well,
because you have digital, right?
Yep. There's digital catch-up tier. There's also, if anybody likes playing Dungeons and Dragons, I have a professional dungeon master that if you back that specific tier, all of that money goes towards hiring him for one shot. You'll be playing alongside of 5 others. If there's enough room, one of those 5 people may be me, but I don't jump in unless there's room to make sure there's room for other people to play. I've done it for the last 2 campaigns. It was a really good time.
Oh yeah.
It's if you guys like jumping in, then Michael Towson, the DM, he's a professional voice actor. He's done, I don't know if anybody knows Talking Tom and Friends from just over a decade ago. He was Talking Tom. He's done work for Will Shatner.
The app?
That's a game based off of the cartoon. He was the voice of the cartoon.
Okay. I was like, I remember the app, and I knew it was based on a cartoon, but I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, this is the same guy. He's out in California. Cool. He's you get your money's worth. It's a good time, and I've played alongside of him 3 or 4 times. I've been a dungeon master once. He's played along. He's just a lot of fun. If you've never played D&D before, this guy will have you up to snuff in about 10 minutes for what you need to do. And it's I guarantee you'll walk away satisfied. You'll get your money's worth. That's for sure.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody go back or go follow and then back when it's live. And when did you say you're going live?
Mid-April.
Mid-April. Okay. And then also, we didn't rate the movie. Damn it. I'm looking for you.
We could do that now. That's okay.
Yeah, do you want to go do that quick? I'm going to post your social media links in the comments so everybody go follow Ray.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people who've already started following. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This is my first time on the creative side of a comic book. I've loved comic books since before I can remember, having an older brother. And it's just really awesome having all of this talent take a chance on me. I would just say, hey, I'm going to be working on this project. This is what it's going to be like. Would you be interested in doing a cover or coloring or lettering or insert thing here? And don't get me wrong, I got a lot of people that said no, which was expected, but I got a couple of gems in there. And I'm beside myself that these are people that have worked on like iconic books throughout the 80s and 90s. And they're putting their metaphorical fingerprints on my project too. It's very flattering, that's for sure.
Excellent.
It's awesome.
Yes. Okay, everybody go follow the Madcaps and then go follow Ray on his various social medias. I put him in the chat there. Go do that. And then real quick, our rating scale here is we're going to see it in the theater on opening night. We're going to see it in cheap seats theater. We're going to see it on streaming as soon as it comes out. We're going to wait for it to come out on free streaming, or are we going to watch the Riff Tracks version? So, Amanda, do you want, I'm going to see it in the cheap seats theater.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it enough that I would pay to see it. Amanda, what about you?
I think that this would be free streaming for my friends who are drunk and high. They would enjoy the disjointed nature of the movie and be crying in all the right places.
Well played.
How about you, Fred?
Free streaming, unless I could go see it in theaters with Dash. I would love to see. He came out very hard in support of this movie, so I would love to see, like, you know, like when you see a kid like having like the time of their life and they're like punching along with, like, I want to see how he gets into this one.
Yeah.
Brian.
I'm gonna give it the Riff Tracks version just because it never captured me enough to want to sit through it and enjoy it as a movie. It, like I said, 100 theater kids.
Fair enough. Ray.
I'll give you 2 answers. The first one is I'll keep this as short as possible. When my last year of high school, I was very captivated and enthralled by the first time ever seeing Spider-Man in theater, the first Sam Raimi movie. It's not an Oscar winner. I'll be the first to say that. Because of its revolutionary impact at its time, I'll give it more credit than anybody who's never seen it before would. And if that movie came out to theater for an anniversary or something like that, I'd pay tickets to watch it. Legend, almost that. I would, if it's out in theater, when I was a kid, the imagery, it left an impact on me. It's not a perfect movie. And that's not something I can impose on somebody else. I'm going to like it for different reasons. And it's very understandable for all the points that were given today. Mm-hmm. I understand and I get it. It's obviously, it's not for you guys, and respect, I get it. For me, if I've never seen this before, it's going to be dull. It's going to hit it with today's modern standards. There's other fantasy movies that did it right. It stayed within its range of ability and did not get killed by its own ambition. And I think that was the main flaw of this movie overall. But that's my 2 cents on it.
I don't think you should be so hard on the movie yourself, right? I used to have a favorite movie from when I was 17, and then I did this show and I met Amanda. So I totally understand your feelings right now. It's okay.
No, I'm not hard on myself. Like I'm not hard on the movie. Just looking at it realistically, if we had somebody in high school right now who's 15 and watched it, cool visuals, everything you guys already pointed out. There's nothing I'll say. I see the flaws for what it is. For me, I like the fantasy aspect. The concepts are really cool. Sometimes the delivery doesn't land, and that's where it sits.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Next week, Cherry 2000. I don't think we have a guest for that one. No special guest.
Just see if we can sucker someone in.
Unless somebody wants to come and
Is there a real Cherry 2000 fan out there? Please.
There must be.
You know what? I know one person. I'll ask.
Post on Facebook, Sarah. Be like, anybody a fan out there? Join us.
All right, let's do it. I'll do that. I got that kind of time. Everybody go follow Ray. Everybody go back Datebots, www.datebots.com, and come back here next week and listen to us almost certainly viciously rip apart Cherry 2000. And we'll see you next time. All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.